The fourth in line to the British throne stunned the nation during an unexpected Buckingham Palace press release. The world was still reeling from recent royal health crises when the announcement landed. Not about the King or the Princess of Wales, but about the youngest, most spirited member of the family, Prince Louis. The update wasn't just surprising. It was heartbreaking, changing the way the public would see the little prince's future forever. Within minutes, the words, "Statement from Buckingham Palace," flashed across every major network. Reporters rushed to the gates, their voices trembling, trying to confirm what no one could believe. This wasn't a routine update. It was deeply personal, about Prince Louis, the boy known for his laughter, energy, and cheeky charm. Yet the tone was heavy, sorrowful, unlike anything the palace had ever issued. Even senior staff hadn't been briefed. There were no leaks, no whispers. The statement simply arrived, carefully worded, balancing sorrow with quiet strength. The family appreciates the public's kindness as they navigate a private matter concerning Prince Louis. But those familiar with royal language knew the weight behind these words. Extraordinary events had occurred. Speculation erupted instantly. What had gone wrong? Why now? Insiders hinted at emotional and psychological struggles quietly shaped by the turbulence surrounding the family. From the King's health to the Princess of Wales's long recovery. The announcement wasn't about image or titles. It was about truth. Across Britain, people stopped. TVs stayed on. Phones buzzed. Prince Louis, the boy who once made the nation laugh from the palace balcony, was at the center of something profoundly serious. Teachers received quiet calls. Courtiers delayed appearances. Something inside Buckingham had shifted. The family's silence had ended, and what many feared had quietly begun to reveal itself. The youngest heart in the family was carrying the heaviest burden, and yet, the most shocking revelation was yet to come. As cameras gathered, Prince William stepped forward, not to read a prepared statement, but to speak as a father, trembling under the weight of a nation's gaze. He didn't hide behind protocol. He spoke of his son's quiet suffering, long sleepless nights, sudden mood swings, and mornings that once held joy, but now held tears. "I was trying to hold the crown and my family at once," William confessed, voice cracking. "But I didn't see what was slipping through my fingers." Then came the words that would shatter hearts. Louis, the little prince, whispered a question no child should ever ask. "Is mommy going to leave like grandpa?" In that single sentence, innocence collided with fear. That moment forced William and Catherine to rethink everything. Schedules, priorities, even their silence. The prince made a direct plea to the press. "He's just a boy. Let him heal in peace." Not a royal command, but a father's desperate request. Vulnerable yet firm, it disarmed even the most hardened journalists. Behind closed doors, heartbreak unfolded. Princess Charlotte, usually composed, was overheard sobbing to her nanny. Louis, once full of energy, had begun retreating into himself. Meals went untouched. Toys lay abandoned. Even Catherine, still recovering, could no longer ignore the quiet crisis growing within her youngest child. Therapy was suggested quietly, but the family hesitated. How would the world respond? Could they protect him from tabloid scrutiny? The tension was unbearable. The tipping point came during a seemingly innocent classroom moment. A peer's question, "Is your mom still sick?" sent Louis spiraling. And just like that, the family faced their most drastic decision, yet Prince Louis was withdrawn from school. No explanations, no timeline. But behind the palace walls, a quiet battle had been fought, and a child's fragile heart had demanded it. Louis shut down completely. He wouldn't speak, wouldn't eat, wouldn't laugh. By morning, he refused to go back to school. The reality hit William and Catherine
down the
hard.
gates
Their
of Buckingham
youngest couldn't
Palace.
continue in the
Cameras
environment that had
clicked.
become too heavy
Tourists
for
whispered.
him. A private
The
urgent
palace had
meeting was
spoken.
called with their
This
closest
time
aides.
was suddenly the subject of
decision was
a message
immediate.
far
Louis
beyond
would
its
be
words.
withdrawn from Lamouk.
And within
No
moments,
press
a simple
briefing,
statement
no crafted
ripped.
statements.
Royal
The
reporters
school was
scrambled to
informed
interpret
quietly,
the tone,
and for
the
a time,
silence between the
silence
lines.
became their shield.
Anchors
But
repeated the
silence
headline
couldn't
with a
stop
solemn tremor.
speculation. Journalists
Outside
noticed
the
his
gates,
absence from
umbrellas,
school events, charity
inside living
appearances,
rooms across
even family
Britain,
engagements.
families watched
Whispers
the news
grew.
scroll
Was
in.
something
Even
wrong?
that brief
Had his
admission
mother's
felt
illness
seismic.
left deeper
Spark
scars
that
than
reminded
anyone
everyone
knew?
that royal.
Inside
Now the
Adelaide
gravity
Cottage,
of the
protection
palace's
became
statement
paramount.
pulled audience. The
Temporary
BBC
homeschooling
replayed
was
archival
arranged under
footage of
close
the Prince
supervision,
trooping the
creating
colour,
a safe
flooded
space
royal
free from
correspondence'
public pressure.
inboxes.
This was
Search, waving
unprecedented
and
in
laughing
royal
beside his
circles, but for
siblings.
William and Catherine, there was
Within
no
hours,
alternative.
journalists from
Louis
Sydney
wasn't
to
acting
Toronto,
out. He was
even
quietly,
seasoned royal
dangerously
experts
hurting.
admitted they'd never get
Catherine, still
emotionally
recovering
charged
herself,
announcement.
devoted hours
Commentators
simply to being
exchanged
with
cautious
him,
glances
reading,
as cameras
listening,
lingered on the
holding
golden
space.
crest
Her
above the
presence
palace
became
doors.
the anchor
Was
he
it the
clung
weight
to.
of royal
Yet
life
even with her
touching
care,
someone so
the family
young,
knew they needed
waiting for
more.
a second
Every
statement that
move
never
had to
came?
balance privacy with
And as the
public
clip
perception.
fades into the
Psychological
question
consultants
lingers
were
like
quietly
fog
brought
over
in,
the tent,
and a
and how
careful
will it change
recovery plan
everything
was
we
drawn
thought
up,
we knew?
designed
What
not for
followed was not
appearances,
tragic.
but for
The
Louis's
palace's
well-being.
clarification,
For the first
softly
time,
worded,
a
one
royal
that showed
child
courage
was being
rather
allowed
than
to
crisis.
just heal, not perform.
It offered a rare
Then came
glimpse
Princess
behind the
Anne.
curtain.
Known for her
Truth,
toughness,
gently
she stepped
spoken.
in quietly, but
Catherine and
decisively.
William wanted
She
that his
spoke
mother
privately
was
with
unwell.
William. Send him to me.
They told
Let
him
him
she
work
needed
with his
rest,
hands.
so
Listen to the
he
birds
began
instead
leaving
of the
drawings
whispers.
on her bedside
And so,
table.
Louis
On
was
quiet
relocated
afternoons,
to her
he'd
country
tiptoe into
estate,
and tiny
far from
crowns
palace
balanced
noise,
on
close to
proudly
calm,
clutching a new
nature,
masterpiece.
And routine. Days
And for a
passed.
moment, the palace
Mornings
felt like
began
any
with
other.
simple tasks,
William has often
watering
said that
plants,
laughter is the
tending
family's
gardens,
life. He
small
joked
chores.
once.
Anne
But in
worked
those
beside
difficult
him,
months,
telling
the running
stories of
footsteps,
horses,
the sudden
childhood
giggles,
mischief, and lessons
teachers at
learned away
Lambrook
from
confirmed
crowns
the
and
same
headlines.
spirit. When the
Slowly,
news felt
Louis
heavy,
began to
Lewis's
reemerge.
antics,
He smiled.
afternoons
He
in the
laughed.
garden became
he asked
sacred.
questions again. The
Behind
weight didn't
closed
vanish,
doors,
but it loosened.
evenings
Anne
slowed
introduced
down.
him to horseback
Her
riding,
presence enough
not
to
for
turn the meal
spectacle,
into a
but for
celebration
trust,
of ordinary
control,
life.
and confidence.
Yet it was Lewis's
Each ride
empathy
carried
that struck
momentum.
observers.
Each moment
Inside
a reminder
one,
that
written
he
in
could
uneven
reclaim
letters,
joy.
were four:
Behind
"Love
the
makes us
scenes,
strong."
Anne became a steady
reminding their
confidant for
children
William
that
and
life is
Catherine,
still.
offering
That tiny
guidance
sentence
without
became the
glossing over
palace's
reality.
unofficial
He's
hand
got
in
Diana's
hand.
fire.
No
He
escorts,
just needs direction.
no photographer,
She
not
reportedly
secrecy.
told Catherine.
A quiet
But just as
acknowledgement
the
that
family
some
began to
truths are
breathe,
best felt.
the
Laughing at
outside
ducks
world
by the
intervened.
pond,
A
collecting
confidential palace
acorns and
memo
wildflowers
leaked,
for
one
his mother.
outlining plans to limit
These
Louis's
moments of
visibility,
innocence
ostensibly
contrast
to protect
sharply
him,
with the
but reading
grandeur
more
of
like
his
a
title,
PR blueprint
reminded
than a
an
care
ancient
plan.
institution
The
what
words
truly
chilled.
endures:
Low visibility
kindness,
approach,
humor,
stagger
and the
appearances,
stubborn light
limit
of hope.
exposure. William
And for once,
confronted
the
advisors
palace's
in private,
silence
furious.
afterward felt
Catherine
not
called it
explained.
inhumane. And
Just as
Anne,
the story seemed to
unflinching,
settle
addressed the
of the
room
young
with
prince's
authority.
passion
You
for
do not
collecting
contain
conquers,
children. You
addressed to
protect
Prince
them.
Louis
Silence
from the
fell.
organizers of
Yet
the
outside
World
the
Conquer
palace, the public
Championships,
noticed
a
questions
cheerful British
swirled.
charity
Why
event
had Louis
supporting
vanished
people
from
with
view?
sight loss.
Was he okay?
They had heard,
Social media
through Catherine's
buzzed.
anecdotes,
Journalists, press
the
palace
gentle humor
officers
of that
who dodged
response
with
instantly
pre-written
went
responses,
viral.
pressure mounted.
The offer was sincere
Finally,
and
Buckingham
sweet.
Palace broke its
Those little
silence.
glimpses
A
into
statement
domestic
confirmed
chaos
what the
have
family had
only.
been
The
safeguarding
palace,
all
however,
along.
replied with
Louis was
characteristic
receiving
grace
professional
and
emotional
thought he'd make
support
the
under the
perfect
care of his
honorary
parents.
patron.
The words,
Prince Louis is
emotional
currently focused
recovery,
on his studies.
Support, sent
They paint a
shockwaves
portrait
through
not
the
of
public
gilded
and
luxury.
media alike.
The
For an
palace's balance
institution
between
defined by
warmth and
stoicism
but of a
and
family
careful
delighting
phrasing,
in muddy
this was
shoes, and the
unprecedented.
Conquer
It
Letter
was
episode
raw.
became
It
a
was
metaphor.
real.
It reminded
And
Britain that
reminded the
royalty
world of a
isn't
simple
only about
truth.
ceremony.
Even royalty
His hand
cannot
clutching a
escape
paper
the
bag
fragility
filled
of
with
childhood,
conquers,
love,
turned
and
what
care.
could have been
Even
trivial
children
into
with titles,
something
castles,
symbolic.
and protection
It's
are
about
not
the
immune to
humanity hidden
emotional
behind
collapse.
closed doors,
Accompanying the palace statement
turning
was something
ordinary
far more
afternoons
personal.
into
A
royal
handwritten note from
expeditions.
Catherine Short,
Accept
but piercing in
kindness,
its intimacy.
decline
He
spotlight.
is strong,
Children
but young,
teach us to
and
see
we
the
are
magic
learning to
in small
navigate
things.
this as a family.
Catherine
Those
and
words
William
resonated
have
with
quietly
parents,
rewritten what it
teachers,
means.
and
In
mental
local
health
shops
workers
near
alike.
Windsor,
This
it's
was
a small
not
town
publicity.
secret everyone
It
keeps
was a
with
mother's
pride,
truth,
smiling
shared as
through
a
the
parent
glass.
protecting a fragile
The heart of
soul.
this story
Social
beats
media
strongest
erupted.
here.
Millions
He
flooded
remembers the
timelines
pressure
with
that
messages
fractured
of love,
lives and has means to
concern,
raise
and shared
royal children.
experiences. Parents
Being there,
recounted their
not
own
just for
children's
photographs,
struggles.
but for
Youth
a
workers
rule
praise
William
the
shared
bravery
with
of naming
gentle
emotional
humor.
pain.
Their
Mental
evenings
health
follow a
charities
rhythm
called it
of
a
togetherness.
watershed moment,
Their
breaking
guiding
generational
principle
stigma,
is presence.
even within elite
Laughter
institutions.
over spilled
Within
juice,
palace walls,
quiet
aides realize the
continuity.
truth. Silence
The
had been
move from
far
London's
worse than the
Kensington Palace
disclosure.
to win
Her
and
words
walk to
shifted the
school
room,
without
and
cameras
quietly,
trailing
the
behind.
family regained alignment.
When asked how he'd
Outside, the
respond
public
if one of his
noticed Louis'
children came out
absence.
as gay,
Questions swirled,
Catherine's
social
early
media
years
buzzed.
campaigns
Press officers
and
offered
William's
pre-written
advocacy for
responses,
mental
but the
health
damage and
awareness
awareness
blend
was
seamlessly
done.
into
Then,
family life,
a quiet moment
marking him
captured
as the most
everything.
emotionally
A single photo of
articulate
Louis
royal
kneeling
with the
in a garden
courage to
beside
speak about
Catherine,
it.
planting a flower.
William's approach
No
to
ceremony,
fatherhood,
no
his
cameras,
immediate answer
just
was
a
love.
mother and son. In that
Catherine
image,
often reminds the
world
children
saw
that bravery
resilience.
isn't the absence of
Louis
fear.
was smiling.
His only
Not for
concern, he said,
protocol, Not
would be
for
public
headlines,
scrutiny.
but because he
Not
felt
those
safe,
words
millions
resonated
shared the
across the
photo.
nation.
It became a
Together,
symbol of hope.
the couple
Public
modeled
sentiment
empathy
shifted.
in action,
Support poured
quietly
in for the
teaching
family,
compassion
applauding
without
their choice
cameras.
to prioritize
Louis hands
well-being
out
over
crayons.
appearances.
No press,
Mental health
no pomp,
organizations
just
reported
people
record
connecting.
engagement.
That
Parents
calm
shared
consistency
stories, and
shapes a
campaigns
household
for
where
child
respected
mental health
at
awareness
home,
surged.
discipline is
Louis,
gentle
once hidden,
but firm.
had quietly become a symbol.
We explain,
not of privilege,
not shout,
but of progress.
Catherine once said.
Behind the scenes,
She once took William and
conversations
Harry
began
to
about
homeless
his future.
shelters to show
Could he
them
one day
beneath the
champion
crowns and
children's
coats
mental
of
health
arms.
as a royal
William now
patron,
mirrors
not
that
out of
wisdom.
duty, but
Ensuring
lived
his
experience.
children's education
No
includes
titles,
both
no
kindness.
pressure, just
As twilight
a seed
settles
planted.
over Windsor,
From one
the
handwritten
family
note and
gathered
a
the
single
real
photograph,
world beyond
the narrative
palace
had been
walls.
rewritten. The
For
boy
this one,
once seen
it
as
may
fragile
well be
was now
Prince
viewed
Louis.
as brave.
And
The
perhaps
family
that
who
is
had feared
Catherine's
his
quiet
silence
revolution.
now watched him
Not
reclaim
but
his
through
voice.
bedtime
The
stories
monarchy
and muddy
had taken a
shoots.
step towards something
It's in
real,
these unseen
something
gestures
human.
that the
And in
future
that
unburdened
truth,
by
the
destiny,
public found
free to
connection.
shape his own.
This may have started with
Cameras
a devastating
captured his
announcement,
small hands
but for
folded
Prince Louis,
carefully,
it marked
eyes
the beginning
fixed
of
on his
something
father.
far more powerful.
The first glimpse of a
destiny
boy beginning to
grounded not in
understand the
duty,
meaning of
but
duty,
in heart.
subtly
Thanks for
absorbing
watching.
the
Don't
choreography
forget
of
to like
leadership.
and subscribe.
But when
And
the
we'll see
ceremony
you
ended,
in the next
he
video.
reverted to his